Hey everyone, Eric Nelson here once again, and thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. Well, I am back with another book review, which I will be reviewing Michael Eging's Annwyn's Blood, which is also co-written by Stephen Arnold. Now, before I get into the actual book, let me just explain why I have a copy of the book cover on a piece of paper. I have this book on my Amazon Kindle, which is on my laptop, but unfortunately, I am still not all updated on the whole technology field. You know, where I can just insert the image through the webcam. So until then, I'm still sticking to this method. So anyways, back to the book. First of all, I would like to say if there's any readers out there who are fans of religion as well as fantasy, which is well, for all the atheists out there, that is one in the same. But for the people who think that religion is real outside of fantasy, I think you will like this book as well, because I mean, although that this book is mostly fantasy action, I mean, you can interpret any source of media, whether it's movie or book, however you want. But for me, I interpret this book not just as a fantasy action. I also think that there's a lot of religious underlying themes, such as Christianity, as well as other religions. I mean, of course, maybe that was unintentional by the author or not, or maybe it was, but for me, I just see a lot of religious underlines. But of course, there's a lot of fantasy and action in it as well. And as I said, for atheists, that's one and the same. Or for people who think religion is real, you would think that it would be kind of an odd combination. But actually, I think it's actually a well balanced book where there is a lot of action, a lot of fantasy, and also some horrific scenes as well. But in order for all of you to understand what I'm exactly talking about, here is just a brief summary of the book. After the princess of a country is kidnapped, her father, who is the king, sends out warriors to find her, and one of those warriors is named Eric. Not me, of course, but his name is Eric, and so he goes off with many of his comrades. But then after he separates himself from them, he sort of gets into a lot of conflicts. One of which ends up where he ends up on the conscience, and then he meets this one girl who actually ends up who soon reveals herself to be a female a female demon. And once she reveals herself to Eric that she is in fact a demon, she actually takes control of his mind, and then who goes into a slow process of taking over his body and soul. So as he's trying to find the princess of the land, he also has to go into another conflict to sort of regain his soul. But actually, it's a lot more difficult than you would think than that, because she's presented as being a real as a looking real attractive to Eric. So she's actually sort of like, and as I said, she's able to gain control of his mind, and not to just because she's a demon, but she's able to use her sex appeal. Now, of course, how does that relate to the whole story of religion, and where there's a lot of religious themes, and of course, how does that relate to him trying to find the princess of the land? Well, as you if you have seen my other reviews, you would know that I only provide little bits of information of the actual plot, because I think it's up to you, the author, to read for yourselves. But you know what? It's actually filled with a lot of action, as I said before, and a lot of surprises as they are revealed. So yeah, once you get into the actual book and the actual action, I think you will find yourselves very satisfied. And whether you're not a huge fan of religion and action and fantasy, I still think you'll like this book. Well, once again, written by Michael Eging and co-authored by Stephen Arnold. So you can get this book on my Kindle like I did, or hopefully anywhere else. So later, folks, and I hope to see you all at the bookstore or the bookstore.